a active pattern will continue again through tonight, tomorrow, and also into potentially Thursday in the similar areas that got hit this morning. That's getting hit now, and that's got hit over the last few days. We are in a classic ring of fire pattern in northwest Florida that is bringing complexes of thunderstorms to ride these sharp gradients over the Corn Belt region. This was forecasted all along, and we are expected to get a couple more complexes that could be on the intense side. Once again, tonight, tomorrow, and possibly also into Thursday, depending how things actually will exactly evolve with tonight and into tomorrow night, to rather. But the most likely areas at risk will again be Iowa, Illinois, southern Wisconsin, portions of Nebraska and the Dakotas as well. So we're gonna dig it pretty deep into the timing of the complexes ahead and the overall threat of weather, I guess, over the coming days, and then take a look at some of the ingredients that will still be in place, and also the ongoing derecho, or that will likely be considered a derecho that is pushing into through northeast Illinois. We currently have a pretty intense complex that put out a lot of damage in portions of eastern Iowa this morning. Wind gusts up to 90 miles an hour occurred in some areas, and then now damage is continuing through a lot of northern Illinois, and a lot more damage will likely happen as you push further east into Indiana, like northern and central Indiana this evening, and potentially push even further southeast than that in this evening hours as well. So again, a long-lived complex, pretty intense complex, bringing a large swath of damaging wind gusts that will likely reach derecho criteria by tonight, as forecasted. Now taking a look at another complex that will likely happen, or at least some sort of weather should happen tonight and into tomorrow morning hours. Model guidance continues to vary on what is going to happen tonight and into tomorrow morning, because it all depends on what the complex does this afternoon and evening time frame. But we should see at least some sort of sea weather happen tomorrow. Again, a long gradient all the way from Indiana, Illinois, up into Iowa, and for the northwest up into the Dakotas. This is by about midday tomorrow, and we see another complex, or at least clusters of pretty intense thunderstorms again for Illinois and Indiana areas, maybe as far west as portions of Iowa. Again for tomorrow and tomorrow afternoon time frame. This is where damaging rain gas will be the greatest concern. But large hail and some tornadoes will also be possible. As we push into now tomorrow evening, we should see maybe a couple of complexes around. A complex might be around further southeast into Illinois and Indiana, but we may see a complex develop now into the plains areas and then push east tomorrow night. This is around sunset tomorrow night. We will probably have two complexes in different areas by this time. And as this complex tomorrow night and into Thursday continues to push east, this will have a pretty good chance to produce a large swath of damaging winds once again through portions of Nebraska, South Dakota, and also into Iowa. This is as moving to Thursday morning. We see a pretty big complex in place between the I-80 and I-90 corridor. Now again, this will change. This is just a model output for 36 to 48 hours out. And model guidance will struggle on showing the exact placement and exact evolution of these complexes, but the pattern will remain favorable over the coming days for complexes thunderstorms, and I will explain why as we get deeper into the video. Now, one other thing is, because all these complexes are happening though, is because there will be a sharp gradient of storm fuel and moisture that will be in place. That is allowing for these complexes to ride along these gradients. We have a sharp gradient draped across the Corn Belt, all the way from Indiana all the way up into the area of South Dakota. Along this gradient, that's where you get them complexes to ride on, bringing intense damaging wind gusts, tornadoes, and also large hail. So it all hazard events will easily happen along these gradients over the coming days. Now, as we push into overnight tonight, if something can develop, we will have plenty of storm fuel in place in the Corn Belt region overnight tonight. If something can develop in that environment, it will definitely tap into that. But either way, tomorrow afternoon, we will have a very unstable air mass in place with a decent mid-level flow as well. That will bring ridge riding clusters of thunderstorms all the way from Indiana all the way up into the Dakotas areas. Greatest confidence again will be on the edge of this gradient in Illinois and Indiana, where you have less capping in place, and over there that will allow for storms to easily initiate. Further west is up in the air and to Iowa area, but again, it's still possible later tomorrow, or depending how things evolve in general. Now, as this complex develops tomorrow night, there will be sufficient storm fuel ahead of it, with dew points also in the mid to upper 70s into the Corn Belt region tomorrow night. Now, the main uncertainty here is that we do have, according to this model run at least, we do lower the storm fuel quite a bit as we get to the early morning hours of Thursday. So it is a different setup compared to what's happening right now and this morning. In the Corn Belt, we might have less storm fuel in place to get a more of a long-lived, intense complex to happen. But either way, this is still enough storm fuel in place Thursday morning, upwards of 2,000 joules again, and a decent gradient still, with a lot of different, I guess, wind shear in place. How other ingredients will still be in place in the wind side of things that could still drive this MCS, which is a mesoscale convective system, through the Corn Belt region Wednesday night into Thursday morning. So again, the atmosphere will be very unstable over the next 2 to 3 days or so, which is allowing for these complexes of thunderstorms to happen. Again, this is going to change. It's just a model output, but when you look at this complex tomorrow night and into Thursday, model guidance, even at this range, is painting a pretty intense wind gusts already across a large several areas. I mean, wind gusts widespread in the 50, 60 mile an hour range, but it does have wind gusts up to 80 to 90 miles an hour, or even up to 100 miles an hour in isolated areas tomorrow night and Thursday morning. So this complex tomorrow night and Thursday, again, could be on the very, I guess, severe side of things as well. Maybe as much as this morning, depending how it will exactly evolve and if we can get an organized complex to happen. This morning, it took several more hours to get an actual organized complex to happen, but it still did, and now you can see it produced very intense wind gusts up to 100 miles an hour pretty fast. So that could happen with this one as well. Through portions of South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa, but again, having a model showing 80, 90 mile an hour wind gusts at the surface, is definitely very significant for, I guess, at this range for definitely a lot of wind, big events, bow echoes, derechos, or whatever over the coming days. It's pretty crazy how much of a hyperactive pattern we are currently in, really, and we will continue to be in over the coming days. Then we should quiet down and get cooler as we move towards this weekend, but especially next week, we should be able to get some cool conditions as well as a quieter pattern. So we have about 2 more days to worry about, but I would expect quite a bit of damage and quite a bit of areas of the Corn Belt region by the time we get to Thursday morning of additional damage, like again tree damage as well, and also there's a chance for tornadoes. So we'll see how that does for damage. But I guess just stay safe over the coming days and stay tuned for more updates. Make sure you follow me on Facebook and X, both Midwest Weather, and also of course you subscribe on here.